Math 1, Unit 6, Systems of Equations and Inequalities. One should study mathematics simply because it helps to arrange one's ideas. As you start this unit, use this quote to help you reflect on why it's important to study mathematics. The big ideas for this unit include solving systems of linear equations and inequalities. In this unit, you will create two-variable equations and inequalities to represent situations. You will learn how to represent solutions and constraints of systems of linear inequalities in the coordinate plane. You will build onto the strategies that you learned in previous courses for solving systems of equations, and you will practice writing equivalent forms of equations and inequalities. Key mathematical tools that we will use in this unit include the coordinate plane, tables, equations, inequalities, keywords and phrases, properties of equality, and properties of inequalities. In the first 6 lessons, you will focus on writing and solving systems of inequalities. You will be given a situation where there's a problem to solve and multiple pieces of the problem to consider. You will learn how to represent those pieces of the problem with inequalities, and you'll learn how to use those inequalities to find solutions to the problem. While making sense of the situation you are given and the problems you are solving, you'll learn about the components of systems of inequalities. These components will include learning about boundary lines and whether they should be dotted or solid, and how to determine which parts of the coordinate plane you should shade to represent your solutions. In these lessons, you will also practice writing equivalent forms of inequalities and determining the benefits and limitations of each form when interpreting the problem and finding the solutions. In the last 4 lessons, you will write and solve systems of equations. In a previous course, you learned how to solve systems of equations with tables, graphs, and an algebraic strategy called substitution. In these lessons, you will learn a new algebraic strategy called elimination. You will start by applying reasoning strategies to understand why it makes sense and is appropriate to add or subtract equations. You will use similar reasoning to justify why you sometimes need to write equivalent forms of equations to help you solve systems. After expanding your understanding of systems and adding to your toolkit of solving strategies by learning why and how elimination works, you'll practice writing and solving systems of equations. Here is a list of key vocabulary terms from this unit. Some of these vocabulary terms should already be familiar to you from previous courses. Here are some key skills needed to be successful with the content in this unit. You should be able to create linear equations and inequalities from a context, graph linear equations, understand a system of equations, and be able to solve linear inequalities and equations in one variable. In addition to your teacher and school-based resources, there are several additional resources available. The Ready, Set, Go homework help videos are housed in the Canvas site for your class. You can access these in Canvas using your student login. If you do not know how to log into Canvas, ask your teacher for help. The K-12 Math Resources website, which can be found on your school's website, includes additional support items such as unit and lesson overviews, videos overviewing the tasks, essential vocabulary, the North Carolina standards for each unit, learning targets for each lesson, and extra practice problems.